Black Heaven is a place where...
The Secret Society of Twisted Storytelling. November 21, 2014, from the Charles A. Wright Museum of African History in Detroit, Michigan. Hosted by Satori Shakur, copyrighted 2014, for the Society for the Reinstitutionalization of Storytelling. The Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers proudly presents Mr. Dick Gregory in Patience, Part 1. Of this dynamically captivating, two-part series.
I know who giving knowledge up there, Tupac.
In April, a friend of mine calls and says Dick Gregory is going to be at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. I bought 2 tickets, invited a friend of mine, and we went. I took him a little bag. It had a Michigan apple and an organic orange, and it had a DVD of a storytelling performance, and it had a thank you card thanking him for his service to America, to the country, to the world. In every area, health, all kind of health, laughter, everything. And I had it in a little yellow bag, and I gave it to him before the show. And then after the show, he was taking pictures with everyone. And he took a picture with me, and I said, please don't throw that bag away. And then Mark Sweetman said, do you want his booking agent's number? And I said, yeah. And so he got it. And I just let this number just sit there for 2 months. I was afraid to call. It's like, we're too little. He's not going to come here. And then I did this seminar called Causing the Miraculous. And the homework assignment was push past where you normally stop. And I was stopped from calling him. And I was right in front of Goodwell's, getting ready to get my pocket pita crack sandwich. And that's when I took out my phone. Boom, 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 boom. Hello? And I made the connection. And then somehow, through some kind of miracle, he said yes. And then not only that, he's just generous. He's just generous with his time, with the interviews, with everything. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me read his bio. I mean, this is his bio, but I was just telling you, I moved. Richard Claxton Dick Gregory has lived a life far from ordinary. He is listed on Comedy Central's top 100 stand-up comedians of all time, and in the 1960s helped bridge African-American comedy to Caucasian audiences with much success. After the 1998 birthday commemoration for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., then U.S. President Bill Clinton said, "I love Dick Gregory. He is one of the funniest people on the planet." Dick Gregory began performing comedy while in the U.S. Army in the mid-1950s. Through the use of irony and satire, he held up a lens to American society and its racial stereotypes, using comedy and social action to address injustice and discrimination in American society. A performance in 1961 at the Chicago Playboy Club launched his national reputation. Within a year, he played out to sold-out audiences in nightclubs and became a popular television comedian. Dick Gregory is best described as an African-American satirist, civil rights soldier, author, nutritionist, presidential, and mayoral candidate. His wit, spontaneity, and fearlessness gave him the skill to knock down the doors of racism, intolerance, and corruption for over 6 decades. A close friend of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers, Gregory was politically engaged to a degree no comedian has ever been before or since. Gregory was a regular on the front lines of Birmingham and Selma, where he was jailed, beaten, blackballed, and forever changed. For the rest of the 60s, he channeled his political and social passions into devastating satire about racism, politics, Vietnam, and much more. Though he broke the color line for African-American comics in clubs and on TV, and paved the way for countless comedians who followed. Many younger Americans today know him best as the inventor of the Bahamian diet. Gregory is the author of Nigger, published in 1963 as his first autobiography. The book was a bestseller and has since sold more than 7 million copies. He published a second autobiography, Callous on My Soul, in 1998. Dick Gregory's career has spanned half a century. And even tonight, we have comedians in the audience that uphold his legacy. And we have Terry Hodges here tonight. You're opening for Chris Tucker tomorrow night. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, keep it going. Keep your hands going. Please stand for Mr. Dick Gregory.
Say thank you. I thank and praise God that we have all made it here safely. And I pray to God that your return and my return will be equally as safe. Let me first say thanks to the people who put this together. See, I don't have nothing. I just have to produce a body. I don't have to move a mic, move a chair, move a nothing. So for those of you that's responsible for this, we say thank you. Secondly, let me say thanks for the invisible people that make this happen. The people at the airport, the people that came and met me. If you ever been to an airport on a rainy, snowy day and the planes are canceled, you ever had that happen? And the next thing you know is 2 o'clock in the morning and they ran out of all the lies. So now they got to put you in a hotel. And as you leave the airport, all the restaurants is no food. The men's room and the ladies' room is filthy. No toilet paper, no paper to wipe your hands. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. You go to the hotel, you got to be back up at 5. You go back to the airport, hear me good. Oh! The men's rooms and ladies' room is spotless cleaned. The paper that wasn't there is there. All the cooks are back. And anything you want, they have. These are the invisible people that we don't give a damn about. You leave here, when them spaceships leave here going up, they got to go through tens of billions of clouds and other stuff that's there we can't even pronounce to get there. And unbeknown to you, after we leave here tonight, somebody will come in here and clean up behind us. We'll never know their name. That's what America is about. A bunch of trifling nonsense. The sad part about it is you don't know it. Bad part. When you were born, the universe gave you a vibration that nobody can trick you. Huh? Nobody can trick you at all. And so I've listened to, thank you. And I'm saying to you now, there will come a day when we took off in comedy, there were no comedy clubs, huh? None. There was no place you could train or get the feeling of it. You want to play music, there's a school you can go to, whatever you wanted to do except comedy. And I sit here, it's the first time I've been in one of these places. I sit here and I realize there will come a day when people just coming up talking about their experience. See, it's one thing you read what the New York Times says about me or the Washington Post, what all they bias. It's another thing when you hear me stand here and talk, not being interpreted by anyone. And you need to do this at home. Huh? Stop being all serious when you get home. Especially you black folks. You've been in some old white racist job. Most of you didn't even know it was like that. Then you want to come home and you want to be a man. They call you everything but a man. And you say to your son, goddamn bomb your daddy, I'll kill you. Nigga, this is my house. Oh, you're not mad at me. You mad at them white folks that all you did was smile. It's a game they play. Your father? Watch, everybody came there. That means he was a trifling nigga when he was young. And think everybody else come to get his daughter be like him. That's what it's about. See, you older folks think y'all got wisdom. You ain't got a damn thing. How you got wisdom when a cop can shoot your son in the back of the head and you don't do nothing about it, huh? How you got some kind of wisdom when you go to war for the same country that enslaved you and then bring Korean Germans over here? And did y'all see the story 2 weeks ago where they found out it was hundreds of Germans getting Social Security? Okay? And you black folks just sit around like you a wimp on a log. Huh? And so you got to quiet. That's what we're talking about. Quiet your spirit. So you can hear the real God, not the church. The real God. Now let me say something. I'll be saying something about white folks tonight, and you white folks don't get uncomfortable. I will not be talking about you. See, I've advocated for years, since I've had some sense, white ain't a color, it's an attitude. And if you don't have trillions of dollars in the bank, you can't have the attitude. So if I ever took over, I'd make all you black folks apologize to white folks because you mad at the wrong white folks. The white folks you mad at couldn't help you if they liked you. See how it works? And some of you white folks, y'all need to get you some real Negro friends. Some young ones that ain't gonna lie to you. White men, this might be the first time you heard this. Do you think we'll ever get damn sick and tired of you walking up to us with 3 and 4 PhDs, mansions we live in that's bigger than your whole community, and look at me and say, you staying out of trouble? Boy, your mama's staying out of trouble. Huh? Now think about this. You women don't hear it. Huh? I don't care how much money you make, how much you got in the bank. Most of them white folk walk up and say, are you staying out of trouble? And nobody's ever stopped to say, wait, hold on. I was at a LaGuardia, I guess, airport about, 20 years ago, and I see this white lady and this little girl, couldn't be no more than 5 years old, they looking at me. And so children are honest. She walked to me and said, excuse me, your name Dick Gregory? I said, yep. He said, my mama said you got a tail. You know how stupid and ungodly you got to be mad at a 5-year-old child when it come from her mama? So I said, yeah, tell her I've got a tail, but tell her mine's in the front.